Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So today's video is a really fun, unique technique using stencils with embossing powders. I'm going to be using this gorgeous retro flower duo stencil from A Colourful Life Designs, and I'm going to show you a technique that I recently saw in a comment that it was possible to use double-sided adhesive sheets with your embossing powders to get the whole impression of a stencil. So obviously we're used to using our embossing powders and getting the stenciled image, but what about if you want the background to also be an embossing powder colour as well? How can you do that? So I thought I'd give it a try. I've never seen anybody do this, but I thought, well, let's give it a go. Maybe it is possible to do it. So I'm going to be using these Wow embossing powders. I've got Amethyst Ice, which is from the new release from Southampton, and I've got Oceanic and Oceanside. So use whatever embossing powders you've got to hand for this. I've got a piece of smooth white cardstock that measures 5 inches squared just because of the stencil design that I'm using today, but of course you could do this with any size card. And then I've got a piece of double-sided adhesive that I've cut down to the same size, so that also measures 5 inches squared. This is the Tonic Studios Craft Perfect double-sided adhesive sheets, but again, use whatever you've got on hand. And I'm just carefully lining that up edge to edge, and then I'm going to pull off the rest of the backing paper and lie that down flat so that's nice and smooth on the card. I'm then just going to remove the backing paper from the other side so that then we've got that whole panel is nice and sticky. So to use the stencil on a double-sided adhesive sheet, what you're going to need to do is create a resist between the double-sided adhesive sheet and this stencil. So I'm going to add some Wow embossing ink here to my stencil to hopefully create a little bit of a barrier between the stencil and the double-sided sheet. You'll see it doesn't work perfectly, but it definitely works to allow you to do the technique. So make sure that your embossing ink pad is nice and juicy so that you get really good coverage over the stencil, making sure that you go in the direction of the stencil as well, because as this stencil's got a lot of detail, you don't want to damage your stencil in the process. So you want to be careful when you're doing this. I'm then going to go ahead and stick the stencil directly onto that card panel that we've got. And you just want to make sure that all of the detailed areas are stuck down nicely, but you don't need to kind of push the stencil into the double-sided adhesive sheet because that's going to make it more difficult to remove the stencil. I'm just cutting a few strips from the release paper just so that I can cover up those exposed areas, because I don't want the embossing powders that I'm using for my flower to then show on the edge of the card because we're going to be using a different colour. However, because I don't end up using the whole image, you could have got away without doing this step. So next, I'm just going to bring in a piece of white copy paper and place my panel over it, and I'm going to start with the Amethyst Ice embossing powder. And I just want to get the embossing powder all over the flower image and also that thistle or flower head as well. Now, with Wow embossing powders, they are treated for anti-static, both the powder and the container. So if you want to move your powder around, make sure that you use a metal tool, as I'm going to use my metal Nouveau spoon, because you don't want to introduce any static into those powders. Also, you'll note that I just tipped the powder away from the rest of the image because we don't want to get that purple colour in the leaves and foliage. So make sure that you flip the powder away from the rest of that stenciled image. And that's where having a scrap of paper underneath is really helpful so that you've got something to put the powder onto and then pop it back in the pot. So next I'm going to add Oceanic, which is that lovely teal turquoise bluey green colour, and I'm just going to add that all over the rest of the stenciled area that we've not covered yet. And then again, I'm just going to tip the excess away from me onto that scrap of paper and pop that back in the pot. So now all of our stenciled image is coated with embossing powder. We're going to peel that stencil away, and hopefully the embossing ink will have done what it's supposed to have done and given it a bit of a resist. But you can see it is causing a little bit of tearing. It hasn't worked perfectly, so I definitely think this technique needs a little bit of polishing. I'm not sure how else to create a resist between the stencil and the double-sided adhesive sheet. However, you'll see that although it looks ruined at this stage, it really isn't, and it's going to create a beautiful background. So I'm going to add the final powder now, which is Oceanside. This is a much lighter green, tealy colour, and it's got a bit of glitter in it. It's really, really pretty powder. So I'm just going to make sure that's all nice and coated. I'm not too worried about the edges because we're going to be die cutting the centre of this out, and that's how we're really going to get rid of all of that imperfection from the slight tearing from the double-sided adhesive sheets. I'm then going to heat my heat tool up and I'm going to heat set this panel from underneath. Because we've used a variety of embossing powders, and obviously some have got ultra high particles in, some have got glitter in, we don't want to blow off all of those chunky bits from the powder. So heat setting it from underneath allows you to get all of that texture and sparkle and shine to stay on the page. So it doesn't take too long to heat set this from underneath. You can just about see on the camera how the colour changes when it heats up. So you end up with that glossy textured finish and you can see the powders melt in there. If a powder's got glitter in, as one of mine has here, you kind of know when it's starting to melt because the glitter starts twinkling at you. And then once it's all kind of started to melt, you can just finish it off on the top, knowing that you're not going to blow any of those particles off. And so there's our heat embossed panel. You can see that the centre of the panel is absolutely fine. It is just really around the edges where the stencil was. But what I'm going to do is use a nesting circle die to die cut that out. I wasn't sure whether I wanted a border around the edge or whether I wanted to get it quite close up. So I thought I'd cut it out larger with the larger circle first. That way, if I change my mind, I can still come back in with that smaller circle. But I actually really liked it with that larger die because you've got a nice edge around the actual design. I've got a 5x5 card blank that I'm working on today, but remember you could make any size card that you want. If you prefer to make A2 size cards, then of course you could just trim the circle down appropriately so that it fits. And I'm going to add a sentiment from these strip back sentiments from Funky Fossil Designs. This one just says thank you so much. It's already white heat embossed on some black card. It was in the back of my packet because that's where I store any spare sentiments. And then I'm just going to add some foam tape to the back of this. Now, to help the foam tape go around the circle, I peeled off the release paper, but this foam tape is so sticky, I was getting in a bit of a mess with it. So I ended up kind of tearing off a little bit of an edge and then adding a bit of a strip to the centre. And then I'm going to add some liquid glue all over the back of that so that I've got a little bit of wiggle room when I stick it down to my card blank. Now, you definitely could have used some framed squares for this. You could also have die cut some smaller circles, stacked them together and glued them behind, or use some fun foam with the same circle die to create the dimension. Especially as I was getting in such a mess with my tape, that probably would have been a lot easier. But now it's stuck down, I'm just going to add some liquid glue to the back of that sentiment and pop that down nice and centered underneath that circle. And then just to finish off the card, I'm going to add a few clear little dewdrops, gems from my stash. I'm just using a wax pickup pencil to stick those down. And then that is the finished card for today, and I really love how this turned out. Although the technique definitely needs a little bit of polishing, I think it really works. And you could even add a layer of clear embossing powder over the top of that to add extra shine and dimension, and it would almost look like a coaster or a tile. So much potential with this technique. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, all the products that I've used will be linked in the description box below. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.